Oh, good morning. It is 4:45 a.m. October 22nd, Saturday, youth weekend. Good luck to all the youths out there today, ripping it. I remember saying the same exact thing last year when I was going out hunting in the afternoon. So, fortunately, my kids aren't quite big enough to go out deer hunting yet. Maybe next year. So anyway, we're going out deer hunting this morning. Gonna go to a river spot that got the kayak loaded up. It's on a little block of public land that gets pushed around quite a bit, but there's a little beaver dam crossing that connects one piece to another larger bedding area. I haven't hunted it yet this year. I used to hunt it quite a bit. I think I overhunted it in years past, but I haven't been back there in a year or two. Usually would bring a decoy out just because it's easy access with a canoe or something, but not bringing a decoy today just because youth weekend, don't feel like getting shot, particularly this morning. So yeah, we're headed in, excited. It's pretty chilly. It's about 31 degrees. Hopefully we get into some deer today. Meeting up with Brad later too, so we'll see what happens. It's gonna be a good day, Tater. Other than this bobcat, the morning resulted in no deer sightings. I paddled out, scouted the area a little bit before meeting up with my buddy Brad, and we dove into a larger block of timber where I had encountered a couple smaller bucks the week before, but hadn't really dove into yet. Alright. Oh, where you at? There he is. Brad and I going out walking, going after the spike horns that we saw last week. Gonna jet into this piece, scout the hot sign, probably set up on the trail right where those spikes ran. Hopefully either Brad or I just stick an arrow through something today. It's probably like 63, 64 degrees. We're gonna try to put something on the ground tonight. First saddle hunt?
First saddle hunt.
Let's see how this goes. Well, I'm set up for the evening. Just kind of in a big kind of fir and jack pine bedding area. It's pretty thick in here. There's some blowdowns, quite a bit of blowdowns. Not a ton of sign in regards to feed, just because there's a couple fields on the perimeter of this piece. It's all road locked. About 300 yards north of where Brad set up. He's right off the back corner of one of these fields. I'm just kind of in the middle of this chunk of timber, kind of in some thick shit. It's an opening on the west, oh no, it would be the north side of the bedding. So if they're gonna come out of this thick shit and go to the fields to the north, you think they would maybe come by here? I don't know, it's a pretty big piece of woods. Anyway, we'll say we're gonna get bunkered down here and see what happens. killed with my bow, dude. Oh man, I'm shaking. I don't know about the hit there. I think it'll look good. I'm gonna have to watch it back. Pretty sure that buck ducked right into that arrow. The aluminum head flew good. Right at 30 yards. Man, I'm shaking bad. I'm gonna watch that footage back. Do some listening. Let's go. Alright, I just watched the shot back. I can't tell if it's like a money hard shot or if it's just a touchback, and it might be like the liver, the way that it ducks the arrow pretty hard. I can't tell, but we got a good hit on a nice buck. He would be a just absolute slam 10 if he didn't have one broken side, but I don't care, dude. Let's go. I'm gonna get down and peek at the arrow and see if we got dark red blood or if it's just coated with good heart blood. If it's like dark red liver blood, then we'll probably back out for a few hours and come back in. But dude, I am hyped, son.
What's up?
Dude, I just smashed one, boy.
Dude, a big one?
Yeah, he would have been a 10 or a 12, but he had one antler that's like broken off 3 inches from the base. But he's dude, he's big bodied. He's a dude, he's a corker. He was in front of me. I must have set up right on top of his bedding area.
Yeah.
Like, because I heard him stand up and start eating, and I like zoomed in through some thick shit, and he was like 50 yards away from me for a half an hour, and he moved like 10 to 15 yards in a half an hour, and then he finally stepped into one of my lanes at 30 yards, dude.
Okay. How far are you from me?
I'm 300 yards directly north of you, but he ran directly towards you, and I watched the shot back on the footage, and he ducked it. He ducked right into it, but it might be liver, and if it's liver, we're gonna have to back out.
Yeah.
For a couple hours. Okay. I am going to send you my pin.
Yeah.
Of where I'm at.
Okay.
Actually, why don't you just hang out? I'm gonna go look at the arrow. I don't want you to come to me and then bump him if he is liver hit, and then we'll because if it's a liver hit, then I heard him run like 60 to 70 yards and then stop, but I didn't hear a crash. It is pretty wet in here, so if he's bedded down with a liver hit and we don't bump him, he'll die in that bed.
Okay.
But if it's heart shot, then he might have just like ran and then just like bedded down and tipped over. So okay. I'm gonna get down and peek at this arrow.
Okay.
And then
just let me know. Send me that pin, and I'll just hang out for a while until you let me know.
Okay. Brad's working his way down to me. I'm gonna go take a peek at the arrow. See what we see here. That was a poke. Jesus. Oh, that's what he went behind. I didn't realize what this was, but it's a big blowdown that he went behind the root wad. was not what we wanted to see or hear. Oh no. They're all over the place. And we got a gut shot deer. That's not f***ing good. Shit. Dude. I went so far around you it wasn't even funny. I went down the hill, back down another hill, and then up the hill because I went past the mark.
Oh, shit.
How you feeling?
Dude, I was feeling awesome, but not anymore.
Yeah?
This gut shot. Dude, I'll show you the footage.
Yeah.
Knockers.
Well, if you ran towards me...
You know, he went that way.
Oh, that way? I was going to say, because when I
You
got out
were
of the...
straight that way from me before.
Oh, was
You
I?
just did a big loop around.
Well, when I was coming down, there was whatever it was walking right at me, and I let it get as close as it could, and then I shined the light, and I couldn't see a f***ing thing, so I don't know.
Dude, did you just hear those coyotes
Yeah.
right here, bro?
Yeah.
I do not fucking like that.
Neither do I.
I'll show you the footage.
Okay, so here's the update. We watched the footage back. Looks like it was liver, and then the deer quartered hard when the arrow hit it. Went and looked at the arrow. As you saw, it was just like straight up gut matter. Based on the size of the deer and the thickness of the area, just backed right out, met up with Brad at the site. We both figured out it would be a better idea just to back out, give the deer time, so we didn't push it. Hopefully it just lays down within 100 yards and we give it time to die, because it looks like I hit some good stuff before the arrow exited. Just to be safe, because this will be my biggest bow buck to date, and I don't want to mess anything up, we did call a dog tracker, which is legal in the state of New Hampshire. It's a great resource to use. I'll get you the dog tracker's information when she gets here. We're meeting up with her in a couple hours, so for right now we're gonna go get some, pizza or dinner?
Doesn't matter to me.
You want some pizza?
Doesn't matter to me.
We'll get some pizza or something. We're gonna go gas up because it's gonna be a long night. We need some rocket fuel to go find this hammer that is hopefully dead somewhere right in here. So we'll be back with the dog tracker after some pizza. All right.
Absolutely, that's all he does. Alright, so it went this way?
Yep.
A lot of green right here, dude.
Yeah, but it's not that
No, but
stuff.
there's a lot of it.
Yes, but there's not that stuff that I...
Yeah, stay back with those guys. If it looks like we're going wrong from what you expected, just holler.
I lost him as soon as he went out of frame and got up
Okay.
into this stuff.
Alright, so we'll just follow the dog for a bit. You got blood up here too.
All right.
Good time. Oh, nice.
Yep.
All right. So far, the dog has tracked sparse blood about 225 yards. It's getting up into this jack pine thicket behind me, so not sure if we bumped the buck out of his bed while tracking. There was some dried up blood in it, or if it had got up on its own prior to us coming out here. Anyway, dog's doing his thing right now. There's no way we would have been able to track this on our own without a dog. So definitely glad we backed out right away without messing anything up, getting on the trail. Dog's just doing his thing. It's just super thick in here in these jack pines and stuff. So
Currently 11:05 p.m.
11:05 p.m. We don't have a bedtime tonight, so it's gonna be a late one.
Just get a feeling.
Currently 12:30 a.m. Still getting blood.
So far we've tracked this deer about 875 yards. It just crossed a road. It's been bleeding pretty consistently the entire time. The dog has been doing phenomenal. It just crossed the road onto an oxbow.
Oh, he went this way, yeah.
So we're hoping that he's somewhere on this oxbow still and not in the river, but I'll swim for him. I don't give a shit. Yeah, there's blood going all the way across.
Here, and then tracks. See his track?
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so here's the update. It's 3:50 in the morning. We used the Richardson's canine tracking. If you don't look them up, or if you don't know them, look them up. They did an awesome job tracking. They tracked the deer for over a mile. It looks like the deer bedded down 100 yards after the shot, but I backed out with Brad and we circled way around. In that time frame, it looks like there was a pack of coyotes, or there's a bunch of coyotes in the area that actually ran that deer, and they pushed him quite a bit. We watched the shot back. It looks like his liver and guts. It looked better than that to me from watching it on the screen. I'll have to blow it up and see, but the deer sprawled when the arrow hit him. Kind of did something crazy. I don't know how, but you never know what you're gonna get with shots like that at 30 yards. So that said, we had good blood because the deer was running from what we assumed to be coyotes for about a mile. In that time frame, he crossed a road, crossed a river. We followed good blood all the way down where he jumped over the river. We walked around and got on the other side of the river, and then we just couldn't find him in the thick shit. So walked the trackers back up to their car a mile, and then came back down, and we were looking at, just to cover up a couple more of our bases, checking a few of the oxbows, and just like really nasty thick bullshit, and we didn't find anything. So we were kind of walking out, and some guy just came out 20 minutes ago. It's 3:40 in the morning, and he just like came out into the woods, was like, "Hey, you guys looking for a deer?" And we were like, "Yeah, dude." And he was like, "Oh, I jumped one out here about 11:30. It was just laying down out here. It didn't look too good." And I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yeah, it ran back into the woods over here," which isn't one of the oxbows that the deer originally crossed into. It's just crossed into a piece further up river than we thought it crossed. And he was like, "Yeah, so Brad and I just walked in there, and Brad, you about stepped on it, yeah?"
Yeah, I was just walking, and all of a sudden I couldn't even see 2 feet in front of me, and the grass and trees just started shaking and thrashing. I about stepped on it.
So we think it's got to be the same deer. It ran 20 yards. I was walking parallel to Brad. It ran like 20 yards and then stopped. And Brad and I just backed right out of there. I'm hoping to God that it's the buck and that he's just still alive from, a plugged up, gut hit. And then if given time tonight, he'll just lay right back down and expire. And I come back first thing in the morning, and hopefully he'll be right there and not back across the river. But anyway, I'm going to be back here at first light and do some serious scouring. Put a lot of work into this deer. It's not the results that we are looking for, but we want to do right by the deer and want to find it and try to salvage the meat if we can. It's going to be cold tonight. It's like 37 degrees already. So, Brad, thanks for coming out and deal with this bullshit with me, dude. This has been a met up with Brad at noon today to start this, and it's currently yesterday, and it's currently 4 o'clock in the morning. So we've been at it pretty much out straight. So okay, we're gonna take off, and I'll be back in the morning and hopefully find this thing for good.
we'll see. Stay tuned.
Another update, I don't want to leave the area, don't want to leave this deer, so just gonna sleep in my car. It's 4:15. Legal shooting light is at right around 6, I think, 6:30, yeah, so just gonna take a 2-hour nap, get up, and if I need to put another arrow in him, then I'll do that, but hopefully into another 2 hours he'll be expired, so we'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It's about 7 o'clock. As you can see, light out. We are going to sneak in here and try to go find this thing. This morning, after all the shenanigans we went through, called Diane and let her know about the guy who said that he saw the deer, asked, what she thought her thoughts were, and she said, "Hey, I'm doing a track in the area. Would you mind if I stop by?" And I was, yeah, obviously, I wouldn't mind. Any help's appreciated. So Diane just came back, and we found new blood from where he crossed the river when Brad bumped him up last night. And then Diane called it to a T. She said it looks like the dog let us down a little beaver slide, and she's like, "I think he went downstream, let's go check." And then she led the way, came right on, and we've got a deer down. So he was still alive. It's got to be 15 or 16 hours post shot at this point. So the deer was dispatched, and now we're just going to give him a minute before we take a good look at him. But very happy, very thankful. Thank you for coming out. Diane Richardson, is it New Hampshire Blood Trackers?
My particular version is Working Class
The
Canine.
Working Class Canine.
But I'm part of a statewide collective, New Hampshire Blood Trackers.
Okay. It's a great resource that's just recently became legal in the state within the last few years. This is the first time I've ever used it. There's no way we would have gotten remotely close to finding the deer without Diane and Rob coming out last night and taking time out of their busy schedules to help us. And I can't express how appreciative I am. So thank you very much.
You forgot Bullet!
And Bullet, we couldn't forget Bullet. Bullet tracked this buck for over a mile while the coyotes were running it down last night, so pretty pumped right now. Well, very unorthodox the way it went down today, but we finally got him. Thanks to Diane Richardson and Bullet. They saved the day on this mature New Hampshire buck. Couldn't be happier. I thought he was broke off when I shot him, but he's actually just kind of got like a muted palmated antler here. It's kind of cool. Got some work to do now. Get him out of here, taken care of. It's warm today. Gotta get him on ice. When I field dressed this buck, I inspected the internal organs to see where my initial shot had hit. I discovered that the arrow penetrated the back of the right lung, the center of the liver, sliced the stomach, as well as center punching the left lung. Somehow this deer still managed to live 18 hours after the shot until we found it, and travel over a mile in that time frame, jumping over blowdowns and logs and down banks and stuff. Just shows how tough these animals are and their amazing resilience and their will to live. Well, just got them registered. Smith River Trading Post. If you haven't been there, come check it out. They got good stuff. Danbury, New Hampshire. Official weight on the Bad Larry, 194 pounds, which is 1 pound shy of my biggest buck ever. I got a 195 a couple years ago during rifle season. Biggest bow buck ever for sure. Can't break that 200 mark. That's okay. Still got muzzleloader season opening up next weekend, but I got ice packed into the chest cavity of this thing. I got to get it home and show the kids and everything. Get this buck skun up, taken care of, quartered up, and hung up in the fridge because it's pretty warm. It's 63 degrees, but I'm pumped. Awesome day, crazy string of events or whatever, but thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Hunting season's just getting going here. I've been filming all my bow hunts, been having a lot of encounters. Thankfully, this encounter had a cherry on top, so I'll see you on the next one.